Hey, welcome to Equipment Management 101. Are you tired of having your inventory full of all this equipment you don't know what to do with? Tired of figuring out what to keep or melt down into resources? Fear not, for I am here. Especially as a new player, it can be daunting to try and plan for all the builds and this and that, but regardless of who you're building, this management system will make sure you get the best out of what you get. First off, anything rare or below is going to be useless. I recommend fully promoting but not leveling each piece for the sake of your collection. If you're in your first few days of playing, they can be good crutches, but once you have enough Epic Plus items to outfit at least 9 cookies simultaneously, you will never look at these little guys again, except in equipment fragment form. Epic equipment! These are yet another stepping stone to the Super Epic catalog. It's a good idea to max out pieces for your collection, but epics are not where you want to pour too many resources, and I wouldn't spend much unless you absolutely need it to pass a certain story level mode or to get to a certain PowerPoint threshold for the next raid tier. Once you have at least 9 different super epic sets, you'll never look at these again, except the weapons. Since cookie uniques are fairly hard to get, there are no super epic weapons, it's not a bad idea to keep a fully promoted copy of a few epic weapons. The spear, boomerang, or really just one copy of each of the epics will not hurt at all. Now we get into the ones that really matter, the super epics. I'm gonna break them down into 3 categories: the elemental sets, universal sets, and the niche sets. First off, the elemental sets. Each element has its own armor set, and these are the easiest ones to get. In fact, it's probably going to be the first super epic set you get your paws on because you can get them through cookie trainings, and I swear that they are more common in the loot boxes. But anyways, I would say it's a good idea to have at least one maxed out set for each element. They're never going to be your strongest picks, but they can be a good crutch until you flesh out your other sets. And for most DPS, such as the Fire Demon for Jalapeno or Wind Spirit for Basil Pesto, actually aren't terrible second choices. But after you get one maxed out copy, these sets make really good material for the mystical laboratory events that allow you to break them down to get other pieces of super epic armor. The second category of super epic sets are the ones that are used by a lot of cookies. Honestly, having one set per element isn't a bad goal to have. For example, any tagger usually does best with Golden Finery, assists do best with Eternal Magician, debuffers use Falling Stars, Suspicious Hunter is a great DPS set as well as the TBD uniform. I would keep any items from these sets that you get, even if you already have 1 or 2 sets maxed out. For the foreseeable future at least, these will never not be useful. The last category, the niche sets, are ones that I think are important to have one maxed out copy of, again, for the sake of your collection, a very specific need, or in case a new cookie is released with that set in mind. For example, Ghost Captain is very useful for mono-element raids, but you would only ever need one person in the group running it at a time. It doesn't hurt to have more than one fully promoted copy of these sets, such as Ghost Captain, Mysterious Wanderer, Snow Strider, Sugar Feather, Eminent Herbalist, Memory Shard, or Forgotten Hero, but don't be afraid to break down your extras if you need to. Then comes Priest of Purity, in a category all to its own. Honestly, it's not that great, especially for price value. Like, it's ridiculous, but you can go for it if you really want to just show off your collection. Lastly, I would suggest keeping one, and only one, fully promoted copy of each unique weapon. There is, at least for any type of foreseeable future, no reason to have more than one copy of a weapon since only one cookie can fully utilize it. I would even save the ones for common and rare cookies, again, for the sake of your collection and for the possibility that you might need to use those cookies. At least now there are instances such as with Mala Sauce where a rare cookie is the only one serving a certain purpose, and depending on new game modes that come out in the future, there might be times where we're forced or where it's actually more beneficial to use a common or rare cookie, and you want them to be as effective as possible. In the past laboratory events, you sacrifice 8 pieces of super epic armor at the most. So if you have more than 8 pieces of unused super epics laying around, feel free to break them down for a scroll and fragment bonus. All in all, getting equipment can be a long, grindy journey, especially if you're a new player and aren't familiar with the game. As you level up, super epics will become easier and easier to get. Raids will be your best friend, and other events or guild content will make your collection journey a lot smoother. Just make sure to keep it manageable and get rid of the things you don't need. If you ever find yourself overwhelmed by the equipment in your inventory, even after taking in all of this management advice, making cookie presets will be another one of your best friends. You can add the same armor to several presets too, which is very useful for when you only have one set to go around. If you have any questions or other quick guides you want me to make, just let me know and I'll add it to the list. Happy playing, have a blessed day, and keep being awesome. See ya!